I do not like skill-based matchmaking in Fortnite. Let me explain. In theory, it sounds like a fair way to group players into lobbies of equal skill so that brand new players aren't pitted against 17-year-olds who dropped out of high school to pursue their dream of becoming a Fortnite pro. And on one hand, I think that some sort of system is absolutely necessary to keep new players coming to the game and not immediately giving up. But what about everyone else? If you're not a brand new player and you get put in a lobby full of people with the exact same skill level as you have absolutely no advantage over any other player. Your only option is to try as hard as you possibly can at all times. Even though you have spent much more time learning the game's mechanics and improving your skill, you're in exactly the same situation as someone who just started. And there's the main problem. In a skill-based matchmaking world, there's no incentive to actually improve at the game. Have you ever done really well in a Fortnite match only for the very next game to be full of superhero skins with TikTok or TTV in their name? TTV tryhard? Really? As soon as you start showing improvement, you're punished for it. If you're not planning on being an actual pro esports athlete, then why would you even bother putting in the effort to get better at the game? At this point, every match feels like I'm doing a weigh-in at an MMA event. If it puts you in a lobby where you're at the top of your weight class, then you're probably going to destroy the whole lobby. But if you accidentally cross that line into the next skill class, well, now you're the worst player in the lobby. This constant switch between easy and hard lobbies just makes it a complete coin toss whether you'll do well or not. And there's literally no benefit of playing in these higher skill lobbies. Maybe it would make sense if they had a mode where you could actually climb the ranks and show off how good you are instead of the game just deciding behind the scenes for you. Oh wait, they do. It's called Ranked. If I want to play against people of equal skill levels and challenge myself, I can do that in Ranked. But if I just want a casual mode to play against a variety of players of different skill levels, I should have that option. But that's literally not an option anymore, and I just don't understand why. For those of you who started playing in Chapter 1, how did your experience without skill-based matchmaking go? Did you rage quit after playing 10 games in a row and not getting a win? Probably not. I started playing in Chapter 1 Season 3, at which time I did not get a single win. It was only in Season 4 that I got my first squad win, and it was almost Season 5 when I got my first solo win. I even took a picture of it with my Samsung Galaxy S5 while my hands were shaking because it was such a big deal back then. I never expected to win. I'd played the game for months without getting a single win, and I was just having fun. Now the game just hands out free wins to new players for the sake of engagement. When was the last time you saw someone post a Fortnite win to their Instagram story? Back then, the game didn't have to rely on the idea that everybody wins. It was simply fun to play, win or lose, but that only made winning feel that much more special. By Season 10, I was starting to genuinely get good at the game. I took the time to learn new building mechanics to give myself the edge over other players. Back then, putting in effort to actually improve increased your chances of winning. Nowadays, if you take the time to learn new building techniques and improve, the goalpost just moves and once again, you're put at the bottom of your weight class, where you end up even worse off than before. And I think that's why a lot of players, especially OG players, switch to playing zero builds. Most OG players will agree that Chapter 1 was the best time in Fortnite history, which usually sparks a lot of debate. Were the graphics better? No. Were the POIs particularly interesting? Debatably, no. Did the game have crazy mythics, medallions, exotics, vehicles, characters, abilities? No. But the game was simply much more rewarding to play. Winning was never something you anticipated. In fact, most players likely had less than a 1% win rate, and yet the game was consistently hitting record amounts of players. I don't see skill-based matchmaking, as annoying of a system as it is, ever being removed from the main battle royale. I just wish there was even a single option besides low-effort creative FFA maps to just play true, classic, public matches. One more consequence of skill-based matchmaking that I want to quickly mention is how much it divides the player base. When I talk to other Fortnite players, I realize sometimes they're playing a completely different game than me. In my last video, I mentioned that the Reaper Sniper was unreasonably overpowered and problematic because in my games, literally everybody in the lobby was using it and it was just a miserable experience. I don't actually have any clips of it from Season 2, but Reload has a similar situation right now, where if you're in a lobby full of players with perfect aim, you're gonna get headshot sniped a whole lot more than your average player. A lot of comments disagreed though, saying it was actually balanced and it wasn't a problem for them. I've also seen a lot of casual players complain about items that they thought were overpowered when I thought they weren't too bad, such as the Captain America shield. Some items are too strong at a lower skill levels, and some items are too strong at higher skill levels. This makes it almost impossible for players to agree on what needs changed in the game, and it creates a lot of toxicity in the community. Okay, I think I've made my point clear on why I hate skill-based matchmaking so much, so why do game companies keep adding it to perfectly fine games? Well, it's the same reason as every terrible decision that companies make.
Money! Money! Money!
Somebody at Epic Games realized that constantly handing out wins is, unsurprisingly, great for engagement. It doesn't necessarily make the game any better, but it does prevent those easily frustrated new players from quitting before buying their favorite Marvel character from the item shop. It's basically the game company equivalent of dangling keys in front of you to keep you interested. Don't quit just yet, we got a bot lobby with your name on it, then you'll keep playing, right? At this point, just throw some Subway Surfers gameplay in the corner and it basically accomplishes the same thing. Now admittedly, skill-based matchmaking is not always a terrible system, it just doesn't belong in a battle royale. Highly competitive, team-based games like Overwatch or Rocket League deserve to have it. The idea of two teams facing off head-to-head, where the skill of every teammate actually matters, necessitates some sort of ranking system. The game's supposed to be perfectly fair with a 50-50 chance of winning, so it wouldn't be fun to have a team full of new players versus a team of experienced players. And it wouldn't be fair to have one bad player throw the game for a whole team. But the whole point of a battle royale is that try, fail, learn, improve feedback loop that eventually leads to victory. Also, Fortnite's randomness and low time to kill means it's easy to outsmart and outplay someone who's better than you. When I got my first solo win in Season 4, I was definitely not the best player in the lobby. I got lucky and found a jetpack and a rocket launcher. While the last guy was building, I was flying around waiting for an opportunity to just blow him up. That alone proves that skill-based matchmaking is not necessary for inexperienced players to get wins, but I absolutely believe that the people who actually try to improve at the game should have an advantage. So who actually benefits from skill-based matchmaking besides the ones making money from it? Well, obviously new players. But is this system actually good for them? In Epic's eyes, it's frustrating to play a game and not win, which is the whole reason that skill-based matchmaking exists. But what's actually frustrating is playing the game for years, improving, and yet having the exact same win rate as when you started. If you just have fun playing the game with some friends and don't necessarily care about winning, then maybe this doesn't bother you as much, but you have to at least see the problem here. Why should I continue playing if I literally cannot increase my odds of winning over time? Skill-based matchmaking sacrifices long-term players who enjoy the improvement aspects of games in favor of catering to short-term new players to make a quick buck. That's why player counts immediately dropped after the OG season, whereas players were consistently high throughout Chapter 1. People want goals to work towards in a game. If skill-based matchmaking was removed, those who don't care about winning can still have fun, but those who actually want to get better and win will see more of a payoff. I know this whole video is going to come off as me complaining that the game is too hard, but I've been playing for 6 years now, and while yes, I do hate that I have to sweat my ass off every game, I also hate that they still think I want to play against bots every other game. I'm already in lobbies where every medallion POI looks like this, so what's the point of throwing bots in there? To inflate my win rate and make me feel good about myself? Nothing feels good about wins getting handed to me. Now they're talking about making a 200 player battle royale? What's even the point if they're already filling lobbies with bots to inflate everyone's win rate? At some point, I hope Epic realizes that people come to Fortnite just to play a fun, whimsical game, and honestly don't care that much if they win or lose. Yeah, the point of the game is to win, but does that really matter when the goalpost moves every time you play? So if not for skill-based matchmaking, how do you introduce new players to the game? I'm well aware that in the current climate of Fortnite, it wouldn't be fair to immediately throw new players into lobbies of veteran players, and that's why I proposed this solution. Instead of players being locked to their own skill classes, everyone will be put in the same lobbies except for brand new players, who will temporarily be given a separate playlist to learn the mechanics of the game. This wouldn't be as much of a tutorial as it is just a training ground where new players compete against other new players and bots. Then, when the algorithm determines they're ready, they'll graduate to open public lobbies where they can gradually climb their way to the top. In other words, it's just Chapter 1 matchmaking with a training mode. Again, I don't see Epic Games ever implementing something like this into Battle Royale, but I just wish there was at least some option to play this way, because personally, I think this is the most fun and fair way to do it. Everyone will encounter people better than them and people worse than them. That's how it was in Chapter 1, and we liked it. To me, skill-based matchmaking feels like a super outdated system that most people don't really care about anymore. But I don't know, maybe I am just coping with being trash at the game. Leave your best hate comments down below, or any other thoughts or suggestions you may have. Just don't forget to smash the like and smash subscribe on your way out. Peace.